that feeling when you get home from the salon and something is still not right. Not terrible, just off. And you can't explain it to anyone because technically the cut is fine. You are not imagining it. You are not being difficult. You are someone who pays attention, who cares about how she shows up in the world, and who deserves to know what is actually happening in that chair. Here is the truth. The wrong haircut is quietly adding years to your face every single morning. Not a little. For 5, sometimes 6 full years. Taken from your cheekbones, your jawline, your eyes, by one structural choice that takes less than a single appointment to change. There is a specific moment in part 3 involving a cut that nearly every woman over 60 has either worn or is wearing right now. A stylist told me, directly, it is the single hardest habit to undo because it feels safe. You will want to hear that. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we are covering 3 haircuts that will make you look 10 years younger, and 3 you should avoid entirely. And by part 2, you are going to want to stop the video and look in the mirror. Part 1 opens with a mistake so common it is practically invisible. Part 4 holds the before and after swap that stylists are calling the fastest visual transformation for women over 60. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The 3 cuts you should never go back to. Picture this. You are sitting in the salon chair, and you say the words you always say, just clean it up a bit. The stylist nods. She has heard it 1,000 times. And she gives you exactly what you asked for. The problem is that what you asked for, and what your bone structure actually needs, are 2 completely different things. This is the part nobody tells you. The cut you keep returning to out of habit may be the single biggest reason your reflection surprises you every morning. The first cut to avoid is the blunt jaw-length bob. You have seen this cut on yourself, or on someone you know, and it looks almost right. Almost. What it is actually doing is drawing a hard horizontal line across the widest part of the lower face. And that line shortens your neck, compresses your jawline, and pulls every feature downward in photographs and in daylight. It visually adds 4 years minimum to how your face reads from across a room. Honestly, this is the cut I most wish someone had said something about 10 years ago, because it feels so clean and intentional. And that is exactly why it fools you. The second cut to avoid is the severe cropped pixie with no volume at the crown. When the crown is flat and the cut sits close to the skull without any volume, the shape of the head reads as smaller. And a smaller head on a mature frame always reads as fragile rather than refined. Your eyes, your cheekbones, your jaw, all of them need crown volume to frame them correctly. Without it, the most beautiful features lose their anchor. Write this one down. Volume at the crown is not about style. It is structural. The third cut to avoid is the mushroom-shaped one-length cut. Grown out slightly past the ears with no layering and no shape at the sides. This is the one that is hardest to see on yourself, because it creeps up gradually. Each appointment it gets slightly wider, slightly rounder, and slightly more horizontal. And the horizontal width at the sides visually expands the middle of the face while it closes down the eyes. There is a reason this specific cut ages a woman faster than almost any other. It removes all visual lift. And visual lift, for women over 60, is everything. If this is what you have been asking your stylist for, today is the day that changes. Coming up next, the 3 cuts that do exactly the opposite. And the first one on that list is the swap I hear about most from women who message me after watching. Part 2, the 3 cuts that take years off instantly. Most women assume that looking younger from a haircut means going shorter. That assumption is quietly costing you. The cuts that actually take 10 years off your face almost always have more length and more movement than what you are used to, not less. This is what nobody in the salon will say out loud, because shorter cuts are faster to execute and faster to rebook. But you deserve the truth, and the truth is that length, when positioned correctly, is the most powerful anti-aging tool your stylist has access to. The first cut to reach for is the layered lob. A long bob falling just past the collarbone, with face framing layers cut to sit at cheekbone level. The length below the collarbone elongates the neck and pulls the eye vertically, which is the single most effective structural trick for reading younger in any light. The layers at cheekbone height do something even more powerful. They create a visual frame around the upper face that draws attention upward, directly to your eyes. Your bone structure was built for this cut. It simply needs the right shape around it to show the world what is already there. This is the one a woman told me she wore for the first time at 64 and cried in the salon chair. Not from sadness, but from recognition. The second cut that transforms is the textured shag with curtain bangs. Curtain bangs specifically, not a full fringe, not a blunt fringe, are structured to frame the eyes and the temples while leaving the forehead partially visible. That partial visibility opens the upper face significantly, and the layered shag body adds movement at every angle, which means the hair never sits flat, never compresses, and never adds horizontal width to the sides. This one almost feels unfair once you see it working. The third cut is the softly layered one-length style falling to the shoulder with invisible internal layers, and a gentle inward curve at the ends. The inward curve at the ends is doing two things simultaneously. It frames the jawline by directing the eye toward the center of the face, and it creates the illusion of more volume through the mid-lengths, which is exactly where mature hair tends to lose its body first. This cut photographs beautifully. It is also low maintenance in a way the others are not, which means you will actually wear it correctly between appointments, not just on salon day. What I'm covering in the next part. Most women find it even harder to hear, but it is the one that matters most. Part 3. Why the safe cut is the most dangerous one. Here is the one stylists almost never say to your face. The cut you keep returning to, the one that feels familiar, the one you describe as just my style. Maybe the single most aging thing in your current routine. Not your skincare. Not your makeup. Your cut. Because safety in hair after 60 is not the same as flattery. The two things have slowly, quietly, completely separated. And most women have never been told. I sat across from a woman at a consultation last year. Extraordinary bone structure, perfect posture, the kind of presence that fills a room. And she had been wearing a variation of the same blunt, safe, collarbone grazing one-length cut for 11 years. She called it classic. Her stylist had never questioned it. And it was adding years to her face every single day. Not because she was doing anything wrong, but because no one had ever shown her what the alternative actually looked like on her specific face. There is a reason the safe cut is the hardest one to leave. It is familiar. You know how to style it. You know what to ask for. And familiarity, after decades, feels like identity. But here is what familiarity has been silently costing your bone structure. When a cut has no layers, no movement, and no vertical direction, it flattens everything. Flat hair flattens cheekbones. Flat hair compresses the eyes. Flat hair turns a face with extraordinary structure into something that reads as two-dimensional in every photograph. The fix is not dramatic. You do not need to change everything. You need to add two things to whatever cut you currently have: vertical movement and a face framing element. Vertical movement comes from layers placed below the ear, angled downward and inward, creating a line the eye follows toward the chin rather than across it. Face framing comes from the front sections, the pieces that fall alongside the cheekbones. When those pieces are cut to sit at cheekbone height, they act as a frame for everything above the nose. Your eyes read larger. Your cheekbones read higher. Your jawline reads cleaner. If you are still reaching for the blunt all-one-length cut at every appointment, swap it for a layered cut with face framing sections at cheekbone height. Ask your stylist specifically for those words. Face framing layers at cheekbone height. Write that phrase in your phone right now. That single request changes the entire visual result. Maintenance for this cut is a trim every 10 to 12 weeks to keep the layers from growing out flat. The face framing sections are the first thing to lose their shape. Have those refreshed at every appointment, even if the length stays. There's one thing about Part 4 that nobody in this space talks about. That's next. Part 4. The texture secret nobody talks about and the swaps that seal it. Bold statement coming. The difference between a cut that looks expensive and a cut that looks forgettable is not the shape. It is the texture. Texture, specifically internal texture and movement through the mid-lengths, is the reason the exact same haircut looks completely different on two women sitting in the same chair. One walks out looking 10 years younger. One walks out looking the same. Same style. Same length. Completely different finishing technique. And the woman who looks younger almost never knows why. That changes right now. When mature hair loses density, which it always does, gradually after 60, it also loses its natural internal movement. Hair that used to have body now sits close to the head. Hair that used to have swing now falls straight and flat. And the instinct most women have, cutting it shorter to thicken it up, is the exact opposite of what the hair needs. Shorter removes the weight that creates movement. Less movement means more flatness. More flatness means the problem compounds with every appointment. What fine mature hair actually needs is internal layering, specifically point cut or razor cut layers placed through the midshaft of the hair, not at the ends. Midshaft layering removes bulk from the interior without shortening the silhouette. It allows each strand to move independently rather than lying flat against its neighbors. The result is a cut that looks fuller, lighter, and more alive than the same hair with blunt ends. Regardless of the actual density, this one is everything. Your stylist knows this technique. Ask for it by name. Internal point cut layering through the midshaft. Those 6 words are the difference between a cut that photographs flat and a cut that looks like you just came back from Paris. Now the swaps. If you are still reaching for a flat blunt jaw-length bob, swap it for a layered lob falling just past the collarbone with internal point cut texture and face framing at cheekbone height. The length alone changes how your neck reads in every photograph. If you are still wearing the severe cropped pixie with flat crown, swap it for a textured pixie with intentional volume at the crown. Ask for a point cut at the top section specifically, and a slight forward sweep at the temples that draws the eye upward rather than straight back. If you are still living with the mushroom-shaped cut that rounds at the sides, swap it for a layered shag with curtain bangs and midshaft texture that creates vertical movement instead of horizontal width. The silhouette becomes taller. The face reads narrower. Your cheekbones reappear. Maintenance tip for every one of these cuts. The texture is the first thing to fade. 6 weeks in, the point cut layers start to grow back into weight. Schedule a texture refresh. Not a full cut, just the interior layering, every 8 weeks, separate from your length trim. Most salons do this in under 20 minutes. It is the single upkeep habit that keeps you looking like you just left the salon, even when you haven't been in 2 months. The next mistake is the one I see most often, and the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Watch for it next time because it is closer than you think. You just learned the 6 most important haircut decisions a woman over 60 will ever make. The 3 that are quietly working against your best features every single day, and the 3 that work with your bone structure the way it was always meant to be framed. That is not nothing. That is years of salon trial and error compressed into one sitting. You didn't just watch a video. You changed how you'll walk into your next appointment. Now tell me in the comments, which of these cuts have you been wearing without realizing what it was doing? Be honest. I read every single one. Next time, we are getting into the one accessory mistake that adds 10 years overnight. And it is not the one you would guess. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.